guys, it's Chala from Crafting Through the Chaos of Life. Thank you so much for joining me for another video. If you're randomly coming across this, welcome. Thanks so much for being here. Give me a thumbs up, a like, and remember to subscribe to this if you want to see more card crafting videos. Today we are making a birthday card for the Scrap and Stamp Birthday Bash blog hop, and I'm using some products that you've seen in the past. This one is a stencil that I've made out of my favorite white cardstock, and I'll link that down below. This is the Memory Box Big Circle Burst, I believe it's called, but again, I'll link that down below. And I just made a stencil out of it. And also I'm using the MFT stamp set Mice Time to Celebrate, and I've just stamped out some images that I might want to use, and I will Copic color them. All right, to get started, I want to create my background directly onto this slimline card base. Usually I do it separately and then glue it on, but this time I'm going to do it directly on top of here. So let me set some of this aside. I want to start off with the Distress Ink and Squeeze Lemonade, and I'm just using a blending brush, and I'm going to go ahead and lay this out. And I'll show you kind of the idea that I had. I had this as kind of on the background, and I'm not sure all the images yet that I want to use, but I was thinking of having this little mouse kind of jumping up. I want my sentiment to be down here, and then I kind of wanted this present to be floating kind of on this side. So that's kind of the idea that I had, although there are several great little images here that I stamped out, and I might switch them out depending. So this is kind of the idea I have, and we'll see if that's what ends up happening at the end of this. So I just kind of want to lay out the stencil right around here, and I'm going to be using this Post-it removable labeling tape, and I'm just using this as a mask and to help tape down my project. So the first thing I want to do is mask off the left side of this card base. So I'm just lining it up on that score line. And then I am going to line this up. Let's see. About here looks good. And again, I'm going to use some of this tape just to hold it in place and just to mask off, just so I don't accidentally get ink on the lower part of my card base, because I don't want any right there. I use another little piece and just to hold down here. Okay, so now I'm going to be using this blending brush. This is kind of like the picket fence blending brushes, although this one I got off of Amazon. It's the same type of thing. It works the same way, and I again will link to these down below, as well as the picket fence brushes. This one, I noticed that a few of the little hairs just now were coming out, but I really haven't had any problems with them. I think that was just maybe a fluke, because no more are coming out now, so that's good. All right, go ahead and ink up my brush, and then just start blending. And I like how smooth these blending brushes work, how nicely they lay down the ink. If you want to lay down a lot of color really quickly, then I would suggest using the regular foam blending brushes, because they seem to lay down a lot of ink right away, whereas these blending brushes themselves tend to be a little more subtle, and you can use a lighter hand to get your ink blending down. Okay, I think I've got a good amount of ink on there now. Just touch up this one spot. And then I will just fold this back carefully, just in case I need to relay it down. Oh, I think that looks great. I don't think I need anymore. I think that's perfect just the way it is. So I can go ahead and save this stencil, and I'll just keep it probably with my die set, and I can use it again in the future. That's one nice thing about dies like this, is not only can you use them to die cut. I think my last video you guys may have seen, I did a shaker card and I used the exact same die cut, and I used it just the regular way, and then this time I'm actually using it as a stencil. So it's really great that you can use these in a really versatile way. All right, so the next thing I want to do is do some ink blending. I want to do some ink blending kind of down here just to kind of ground the image. So I'm going to reuse some of this Post-it tape, and I'll just bring it down, again lining it up on that score line. I'll try and keep it straight. There we go. I'm using my Tim Holtz glass mat just to help line everything up so I can keep things straight. And then I want to mask off a good amount. So this is about 1.25 inches. I think that looks fairly straight. If not, that's okay. It just means it's handmade. Doesn't have to be perfect. It's perfectly imperfect. And I'm really going to burnish down the edges here just so I get that nice crisp line. And I might want to actually just use this one and make sure I get a little closer to that folded edge. There. And for my next color, I'm going to be using the Distress Ink Wilted Violet. And this time I'm going to be using my Picket Fence blending brush just to show you that there is no difference between how these lay the ink down. It's just a matter of preference and how much you want to spend. So I'm going to start off my project and then bring it on. I really want a nice amount of ink on here, so I may actually switch to a blending foam. Let's see how well this works. If I can get it to give me enough ink on there. Oops. Might have to move this up. I got a little fold. That's okay. Just have to be careful that I don't move my mask. Yeah, I think I'm going to move to a blending foam. So I'll just grab one of those from my drawer. Get the right foam to go with it. And this, you'll see that it really lays down a lot of ink right away. It looks like I had some seedless preserves on here before. That's okay. Give it a nice blend. Grab the wrong foam. That's okay. Again, perfectly imperfect. There we go. Now we're getting a nice amount of color laid down. Let's see how that looks. I just want to wipe my hands so I don't get ink on my project. I'll lift this off. You can see I got a little bit up here, so I might try and fix that. Let's see. Maybe if I, oops, try not to rip everything. See if I can move that up just a bit. Oh, now I'm getting ink all over everything. You know what? I think what I'll do is I will just use my sanding eraser just to help out. Give me 1 second and I'll grab that. So I don't make more of a mess, I'm just going to use my sanding eraser just to kind of lighten up some of that ink that I got on there. Might be able to use it just to remove some of it from here as well, lighten it up. Fix my boo-boo that way. There we go, that seems to work. I'm just going to use this dollar store brush just to brush it off before I get ink all over everything that I don't want to. I think I'm good. It's always nice to have one of these little mono sanding erasers just in case you make a boo-boo, which I tend to do quite a bit. There we go, it's like it never even happened. All right, so there's the basis of my card. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and I think I'm going to color up my little images, and I'm going to do this off screen just to save some time. If you want to see someone who does a really great job of coloring images, I can recommend you watching Kelly Ladavola or Nicole Spohr. She's really good. I'm not the best colorer, I'm still learning, so I'll spare you those those details of my coloring. So I'll be back with these colored and cut out images. Okay guys, I am back and ready to assemble the rest of this card. I've gone ahead and colored my little images and die cut them out with my brother's Scan and Cut. I've also done the sentiment here, it's time to put on your party hat, and I have just done that with white heat embossing. And so let's go ahead and use some 3D foam pieces here to go ahead and adhere these little pieces to our card. So I think what I want to do is I'll have my sentiment here just to try and cover up my boo-boo just a little bit. Go ahead and put those little foam pieces on. Oops, don't want that guy. And I'm going to put a few just so that it doesn't sag. Nobody likes a saggy sentiment. So this is a really quick and easy birthday card to do. I'm using some stamp sets that I'm sure you guys already have in your stash. I like to pull out and reuse some of the older sets that I've forgotten about. And this one is so incredibly cute. I love the little mice. In fact, right now we have some little mice. Well, actually, I think they're voles that are in our garage. And so they've been outsmarting my husband. He keeps trying to set traps for them. And all he is really doing is feeding them because they are too small for the little mice traps. So I'm secretly rooting for the mice. I won't tell my husband that. So I think I want this guy over to the left just a little bit. And then we'll add here our little gift. And surprisingly enough, I stuck to my original plan, which is good. I don't often do that. Go ahead and stick this down. And if you want, you can add a few sequins or gems in around here. I think I'm just going to keep it simple like this. And so it has, it's time to put on your party hat, and then inside we can just write your sentiment. You can stamp happy birthday if you want. But that is today's quick and fun birthday bash card. I hope you guys enjoyed today's card, and we will catch you next time. Hey guys, I would really love it if you sent me some snail mail. I'd love to receive your cards and see what you've been busy making. As well, everybody who sends me a card will get something free in the mail, and I hope to show your cards on one of my next videos. As always, you can find the materials used in today's video down below in the description and over at my blog. Any purchases made through these links helps me to bring you future content and tutorials at no extra cost to you. Another way you can show your support is simply by liking, sharing, and subscribing so as not to miss any future posts. Thanks again, and until next time, P.S. I love you.